Thank you very much, Easy. I think I will start by adopting all the comments and positions put forward by earlier speakers. And the comments just underscore the point I will make around the trajectory of democracy that we have experienced from 1960 to date. In the 1970s, the government of Bhutan is in Asia, initiated a major policy on development. And that policy was that the government committed itself to looking at development not from gross national product or gross national output, but from what it called gross national happiness. And the fundamentals with respect to gross national happiness or gross domestic happiness was that a government that addresses inequality, unemployment, and poverty will provide a safe, joyous, and prosperous society where confidence between the state and the citizens will be strong, where people live lives that are predictable, that when you are engaging the judiciary, you know that the judiciary is predictable. When you are engaging the legislature, you know that the legislature is predictable on the basis of what it will do or should do as the face of governance. Today, for us in Nigeria, the question is, if we are to use the gross national happiness as a unit of analysis to measure the kind of democracy, the quality of democracy, and the kind of actors or characters that have been driving this democracy on the rate of 1 to 10, where will the mark be? And earlier on, people were of the view that we have not done well. We have not done well because recent happenings with respect to contestations, whether or not Nigerians are being killed, attest to the fact that there is something fundamentally wrong about the kind of governance that we have. That election itself is about people that are alive, and that the number of people that have been killed under circumstances that are avoidable tells a story that we have not gotten elections right, and the wrong people have been saddled with the responsibility of managing our elections, or they benefit from our elections. Recently, I had a conversation with a friend from Kenya about the work I've been doing on farmer-herder conflict and banditry. And he said, can you tell me more about this banditry thing? And I described banditry. And he said, but in Kenya, our understanding of banditry is different from your own in Nigeria. That for us in Kenya, bandits are politicians who take away the right of citizens, who steal their votes and all that. That's the kind of definition that an average Kenyan has on an elite, not the peasants and all that we are talking about. In 2018, the government of South Africa was forced to establish a commission on state capture. And the report was released in 2021. And it was due to popular pressure by civil society that the South African state is dysfunctional because of vested interests. Our elections, our economy, our institutions are undermined increasingly because of vested interests. And that until we are able to address the role of vested interests in defining our elections and the outcome of elections and defining our institutions and how these institutions work, we are not there yet. And we recall the 2009 comment by Obama that if you want to solve your problem, Africa, invest in institutions, not strong men. Today, the conversation about electoral reform, about political reform, security sector reform, governance reform, power reform is one that happens between and amongst strong men and women. And the last point I will make is about the future of Nigerian democracy and elections from the perspective of citizens' agency and the role that citizens' agency can play in agitating for reforms. And that when you look at many countries today within Africa or across Africa that are making headways with respect to politics and governance, it is because the people are making or taking deliberate steps to fight, deliberate steps to ask fundamental questions. Yesterday, we were all subjected to an interesting drama between the FCT Minister Wike and the young officer Yerima. That was not just Wike and Yerima, but it's a story about the dysfunction that characterized the Nigerian society. It was democracy and the military in conflict. It was civil-military relations in conflict. It shows the deficit of understanding as to which country do we really lay or pledge allegiance to. And I think as we reflect on the kind of reforms that we need, issues like this need to be taken into consideration, and that the panel that we have here is well positioned to look at this issue from my dear brother Ghana, who is in the House of Reps discussing, Oga Amadi, who has been in power and still managing power, my sisters here from the civil society. We are all here to look at how well and best to confront this Hydra-headed issue of quality of elections as a key buffer that will make democracy work in Nigeria if we undertake the right reforms that are needed. Thank you very much.